latest in pool care products, we're here to help. That's why you can always trust your local Swim Mart to make pool care easy. Visit us today.
Now at Harvey Norman, Melbourne's kitchen and laundry appliance specialist. Hot deals on cooking. Euromade 5-function built-in oven. Now just $499 plus bonus gift card. Bargain buys for the laundry. Like Hisense 7.5 kilo front load washer. Amazing value. $544. And unbeatable deals on fridges. Westinghouse 425 litre bottom mount. Now just $988 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, Melbourne's kitchen and laundry appliance.
Free rice promotions. I've got that.
Или по пятницам, обычно утром. Не забывайте и следите, если вам интересны темы денег и технологий. У меня на этом все. Я с вами прощаюсь до понедельника. Желаю вам всем хороших выходных. Напоследок песня «Монеточки».
Стерся в памяти адрес и номер с тех пор, но я помню рекламы и плитки узор. Продавщицу смешную потери колбас. И как Витя меня целовал в первый раз. Как толкнула ногой самокат оседлав. И как дура к нему покатилась стремглав. Помню пластырь на содранной коже в локте. И закаты каких не бывает нигде. Помню, как моросило, а я шла из кино. Это было в России, значит было давно. Это было в России, значит было во сне. Сон украсть не под силу, он останется мне. Помню, как моросило, а я шла из кино. Это было в России, значит было давно. Это было в России, значит было во сне. Сон украсть не под силу, он останется мне. И какой бы теперь не купила билет, своего уже нет, и своих уже нет. Больше некому встретить с табличкой в руке. И пою там теперь на другом языке. Так несбыточно, что бесполезно мечтать. Все открыты замки, а на главном печать. И не жалко совсем, и не хочется, но не забыть бы в пути твой расплывчатый сон. Помню, как моросило, а я шла из кино. Это было в России, значит было давно. Это было в России, значит было во сне. Сон украсть не под силу, он останется мне. Помню, как моросило, а я шла из кино. Это было в России, значит было давно. Это было в России, значит было во сне. Сон украсть не под силу, он останется мне. Адрес и номер с тех пор, но я помню.
SBS, a world of difference. You're with SBS Spanish, on mobile, online and on radio.
Estás con SBS en español, en tu móvil, por internet, en tu radio. En el corazón de todos los inviernos vive una primavera palpitante y detrás de cada noche viene una aurora sonriente. Esto lo dijo Khalil Gibran, ensayista y novelista y poeta libanés. Muy buenas tardes a quienes a esta hora abren un espacio para el fin de semana de SBS Audio Australia en español y se conectan a la señal en vivo y en directo a través de nuestra señal análoga y para toda Australia y el mundo por radio digital, por internet y por nuestra aplicación SBS Audio. Puedes seguirnos además en Facebook y en Instagram en SBS Spanish Australia en español. Hoy es sábado 2 de noviembre y nuestra invitación el día de hoy es para que nunca perdamos la esperanza. Te acompaña esta tarde desde los estudios en el centro de Melbourne, las tierras tradicionales del pueblo Wurundjeri, quien te habla, Carlos Colina. En SBS Spanish reconocemos la conexión continua e inquebrantable de los pueblos aborígenes y de los isleños del estrecho de Torres con sus tierras. Y aprovechamos para enviarle también un saludo a toda la comunidad mexicana y latinoamericana que está celebrando la fiesta del Día de los Muertos. En varias partes de Australia también se celebra. Conversamos hoy con la virtuosa violinista española Lina Turbonet, que es considerada una de las máximas referentes de la música barroca en la actualidad. En deportes hablamos de la A-League, de tenis, de Fórmula 1 y de mucho más. Traemos además las noticias positivas y la mejor música, pero primero vamos con nuestro flash informativo de SBS Audio fin de semana. Australia en español. Tres días después de que unas devastadoras inundaciones arrasaran ciudades españolas y causaran la muerte de al menos 205 personas, la conmoción está dando paso a la rabia, la frustración y a una oleada también de solidaridad. El viernes las autoridades españolas elevaron el número a 205 de víctimas mortales, 202 de ellas solo en Valencia. Muchas calles permanecen bloqueadas por vehículos y escombros, atrapando a algunos residentes en sus casas. La electricidad, el agua corriente y las conexiones telefónicas estables siguen ausentes en algunas zonas. La destrucción causada por las tormentas del martes y el miércoles ha dejado a los supervivientes sumidos en el dolor, recordando las secuelas de un tsunami. Según la catedrática de hidrología de la Universidad de Reading, Hannah Cloak, la tragedia podría haberse evitado en gran medida con un mejor sistema de alertas.
Receiving warnings of an upcoming flood is an easy way of keeping yourself safe and your homes.
Recibir avisos de una próxima inundación es una forma fácil de mantener.
BMW range, from 100% electric to dynamic passenger vehicles. Enjoy exceptional offers across the BMW demonstrator range. Visit your local BMW dealer today. Ask yourself why. Why have you been holding off? Whether it's the cost, you don't have any time, maybe you're afraid of the dentist. They're all legitimate reasons, but speak to EBDG and you'll be wondering, why didn't I see them sooner? East Bentley Dental Group. Where else can you get everything done in the one place? Save time and money. Book an appointment now at ebdg.com.au.
Yes, Uber Eats does deliver snacks. No, Uber Eats does not deliver snakes. Obviously.
I wonder if that hissing sound is snakes. Yep, definitely snakes.
Uber Eats get almost anything.
Dream a little more for a little less with the Western Australia Dream Sale. With up to 30% off selected tours and experiences, free additional room nights and complimentary value adds on offer, there's never been a better time to visit WA. Book before November 30 and go into the draw to win back the entire cost of your tour or experience. Book now before this dream slips away. Visit westernaustralia.com/dream sale. Terms and conditions apply. Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Melbourne's traffic on Smooth 91.5.
Dan Murphy's don't match prices, they beat them. Like Chandon Brut, just $20. Yes, just $20. Hurry in Sunday. Choose to drink wines, T's and C's apply. Flemington racing on today with heavy traffic anywhere you care to look. Lanes Road, Epsom Road and Smithfield Road along the Princess Highway to some on that very long list. Craigieburn, several sets of traffic lights are blacked out in the area due to a local power failure, including Craigieburn Road, Aiken Boulevard and Vantage Boulevard. Get your form straight from the horse's mouth this Derby Day with Ladbrokes' new AI-powered Form Genius. Own spring with Ladbrokes. T's and C's apply and available on website. Chances are you're about to lose. Mostly sunny this afternoon, top of 26, dropping to 18 degrees overnight. Shower or two and a top of 23 for tomorrow. Right now it is 23 degrees. Harris Scarf is celebrating 175 years with unmissable deals. Save 50% off quilts, quilt cover sets and pillows. Exclusions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. That's the latest traffic on Smooth 91.5.
This is Smooth with David Campbell.
It's your Saturday sessions here on Smooth. Hoping having a great one. It is busy out there. I've got Fleetwood Mac. They are lined up ready to go. But first, did you know Bruno Mars wants to marry you?
8 ATP Tour final. He'll be the first Aussie since Leighton Hewitt in 2005.
Hate long waits but love fast deliveries? Get over 1 million items with free one-day delivery. It's on Prime. For Prime members on eligible orders in select areas.
Triple M. Melbourne weather.
Mostly sunny, 26 for Melbourne today, then a couple of showers and 23 tomorrow, and partly cloudy, 19 for Monday. And start your day with Triple M breakfast. Rosie, Will and Daisy are back Monday on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
The horses are on the track.
Triple M's trifecta countdowns by a nose.
To get your Melbourne Cup ready, it's a Triple M trifecta countdown.
You got back at 8. This is Dangerous Dave. We're going to count down the top 3 one-hit wonders. Just missed out was Kaja Gugu and Tony Basil and Vanilla Ice and the Baha. But coming in at number 3 as one of the great one-hit wonders was a song that was recorded twice. Once in English, the other in German. Number 3 in our one-hit wonder countdown is Nina.
De Nouveau.
La Gioconda makes the ultimate sacrifice to the villain of the opera, so that her lover, who's in love...
Not even young man, child prodigy.
There,
Yes.
in Austin, is she taking on a persona?
I think it is.
Is it a character?
No, I think it's Jane Austen who opens the book herself.
I think it's a satire.
You think it's a satire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's the voice of society
Aha.
of the time.
It's true, yes.
And of course, it's the truth use of it, universally acknowledged, means the whole society thinks this is how you should go.
Yes.
So any man who has a fortune, if you like, is the target.
Watch out.
Watch out. And that's what happens in Pride and Prejudice, of course.
It was the times, wasn't it? I mean, in those times, women had to marry for survival.
Yeah, so that's an interesting opening line, because it shows you that you can actually adopt a sort of an attitude which is not necessarily yours.
Yes.
And in Jane Austen's case, not necessarily the character.
No.
But it's actually the society.
Yes.
So what else have you got?
What else have I got? I've got all families are alike. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. All happy families are alike, but unhappy families are unique to each themselves. And this is from Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. And this line represents an insight into family dynamics and sets up the novel's exploration of relationships. It's thought-provoking, encouraging readers to reflect on their own experiences and the nature of happiness.
Again, you'd want to read the book, wouldn't you?
You would,
after listening
after
to that.
listening to that, yes.
How about this one? And maybe you can tell me where it's from. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like and how my parents were occupied, and all before they had me and all that David Copperfield kind of crap. But I don't feel like going into it, if you want to know the truth.
A grouchy rider. No, I don't know who that is, Robert.
It's got to be Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye, of course, yes.
And that's from the main character, Holden Caulfield.
Yes.
And straight away we get his attitude, his cynicism.
Yes.
As a teenage boy.
Yes.
Who's totally out of sync.
Yes,
with
indeed.
the people around him and the society, and that's it. Right,
Yes.
can we have one that you've written, Lee?
Okay, well, one I've written is, I was writing about Barry Jones's thoughts on passion, and the opening line for this It is a glorious, quiet, sunny autumn day, and I have a glass of Shiraz in my hand while my favourite praying mantis goggles at me from the turning leaves of the Virginia creeper on my balcony.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Is that fascinating?
Yes.
You like that? What does it do for you, Robert? Does it make you want to read more?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And I love the way it moves into what you're thinking and then onto the creature itself.
Yes.
And then that sort of sets off a whole lot of things later on, I suppose.
Yes, it does. Yes. The creature does have meaning, but not in this particular piece of writing.
Now, what about this one? When a man dresses up in women's clothes, but still looks like a man, like he still has a moustache, that's called a gender fuck. That workshop proved to be the most controversial one with a lot. The lesbian separatists said it was a patriarchal put down of women.
Yeah, I love it.
And that was to be a little short story I read called The Belly Dancer.
Yes.
And it was about a class I used to have, and this main character, this student, went up to Sydney and attended a sex conference and came back and reported it to the class.
Right, yeah.
All right, now that might lead us on to our special guest today. And we have great pleasure in introducing to you today Jack Footscray, who is a non-binary poet, and she will be telling us all about her life, and we will be talking about her poetry collection.
Some people have trouble fitting into a box, and some people strut right past that box down a glorious path of freedom and self-expression. Queer was once a slur, but now it's been reclaimed as a celebration. It's an umbrella term covering the entire LGBTIQA+ rainbow, but it's more than that. It's also an identity. Queer means changing the system instead of changing yourself. It's both an expression of identity and a political ideal. Want to learn more? Check out Joy's inclusion and diversity training. Visit joy.org.au/services.
The Joy community, here for you, here together.
Selecto conjunto de expertos barrocos de Europa, música alquímica, Turbonet llevará al público un viaje imperdible por el barroco, interpretando obras de Corel.
Live inside on North Melbourne. The girl who does my physio, Mia, at Kaiser, she looks after my knee. She also looks after North Melbourne, and I think she'd prefer to look after North Melbourne than my knee, generally colour. But she has given me some good insight, and yeah, they're feeling very confident down there for the AFLW. I reckon it's theirs to lose, the way they've been going.
Speaking of though, the men's side signed a contract to play 2 home games in Western Australia.
It's a long way from home, isn't it? So I suppose they're slowly thinking, well, with a Tasmanian team coming on, where are we going to get the dough in the future? But
gee, Bunbury, they're playing 1 game in Bunbury.
Yeah, which is a lovely part of the world, south of Perth. Looks like a nice oval as well. But gee, it almost makes of desperation. It's a long way out of town, isn't it?
It just sort of came out of nowhere. Like, we've seen deals like this done before in the past of clubs that have signed away home games, you know, for financial gain, for the expansion of the competition. I'm all for it, but I just think it sort of came out of left field.
Yeah.
North Melbourne playing in Western Australia.
So will they be playing a West Australian club necessarily?
My understanding is yes, they'll be playing
as a
West
home
Coast
game.
and Fremantle.
So they'll play West Coast at Optus Oval. They'll also play them at Bunbury, for instance.
Yes. Who plays who where, as far as will it be North West Coast in Bunbury or North Fremont, that's to be decided. But my understanding is, that's how they're going about it. So, John.
Yeah, it's a shame. Well, I suppose with Tassie coming on board, won't be anyone left there.
Richmond have historically played games up north in Cairns.
Yep.
And we know how that went. They lost to Gold Coast a number of times. Carmichael Hunt, say
That's
no
right.
more.
You haven't forgotten that, have you?
No, you don't forget these kind of things. Of course, North Melbourne in Tasmania as well. They've got that aligned partnership, as have Hawthorn.
Melbourne at Alice Springs.
Correct, there's been Melbourne and Alice Springs. Various different clubs have done it over the years, so it's not a foreign concept. I'm just a little surprised that they're still looking to do that kind of thing. I thought our energies were focused more in having rounds, like you gather rounds.
Yeah.
Where we're actually showcasing the game.
Well, I reckon it's a simple ABC with moving games. ABC, anywhere but China. I think don't make another team play there. That was just silly.
I think the days of having that are done.
Yeah.
It appears so anyway, but that's not to say they won't look at playing games in international markets in the future. I don't think that door is entirely closed because they're all for expansion of the game.
Yeah, sure.
It's an evolving game, AFL, obviously,
Yeah.
and particularly where they play it and what clubs play where and what not. So, but the other thing that has been discussed is potentially international rules making a return as well.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. It just never seems to end well.
No.
A couple of players get injured, all of a sudden it delays their return back to playing AFL.
It's the same reason we don't like state of origin here, particularly in Victoria, in AFL, because we're too club orientated. I mean, we're far too club orientated to worry about the states.
Swing outside the off stump and a chance for a catch, but not taken. So WA none for 23. Reply to Tasmania's first innings total of 317, just after lunch on day 2 at Bellary.
Okay, thank you. So what, a bit shaky there?
WA?
What's happened to this? They haven't had the greatest start after being dominant over the last couple of summers. Let's go to the Adelaide Oval. Aaron Bryans, what can you tell Jim about South Australia and Victoria?
Yeah, not a lot of action for the great man going on here. So the Vicks at lunch are none for 46. They dismissed South Australia for 307 earlier today. So Chandra Singh on 16. Merlot, who's replacing Marcus Harris, is the opener today on 26. So South Australia just added 19 runs to their overnight total. They lost their final wicket about half an hour into the second day's play. Lloyd Pope caught behind of the bowling of Cam McClure. But the big talking point that I'd love to hear Jim's thoughts on is the return of Peter Siddle at the age of 39. He's 3 for 57, the leading wicket taker in the One Day Cup, and it looks pretty good at first class cricket level. Just wrapping up as well what happened before we finish this session. So it was a pretty stock standard, comfortable opening partnership for the Vicks. But Ben Menente's off spin is starting to trouble Merlot. He's nearly got bowled, it threaded the needle between the bat and leg stump, but Chandra Singh meanwhile looks very composed and he's picked up a couple of boundaries. So the Vicks none for 46, they dismissed South Australia for 307, but Peter Siddle's probably the talking point so far out of this match.
Still going strong, Jimmy?
Peter Siddle, Jimmy Anderson, eh?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he goes forever. He just wants to keep a ball in his hand forever.
Well, I know, I thought I'd string it out and put Chippers last because you've been waiting for the score between New South Wales and Queensland. The Blues and the Bulls. Chippers, how's it rolling out there at Cricket Central?
All right at the moment, Q, I'm afraid, here in Sydney, but we are at lunch, so there's good news and bad news. And as you've been chatting with Jim, plenty of talk and debate about the openers' positions at the top of the Australian order, but no doubt about one of those positions, and Usman Khawaja has showed why this morning. He's dominated the first session here at Cricket Central. Queensland now in a good position after 4 sessions of the match. At lunch, Khawaja has an unbeaten 58 out of the Queensland total of 1 for 96. That in reply to New South Wales' first innings of 239. After a quiet start in which it took the Bulls nearly 7 overs to score a run. First thing this morning, he's twice lofted Tanveer Sangha for 6. The only wicket to fall, that of Matt Renshaw, who seemed to have got through the testing opening spells from Josh Hazlewood and Jack Edwards, only to be trapped LBW by Sangha for 25. At the other end, Angus Lovell has moved into double figures. Queensland at lunch on day 2, they trail by 143 at 1 for 96.
Good on you, Chippers. Hopefully Sean Abbott's going to join us shortly to speak about the start of the international men's summer, which is at the MCG on Monday against Pakistan. But Clint Wheeldon's watching the tour game in Mackay, Australia A versus India A. India trying to build a target which would give us a really good taste of whether any of those top order batters can put their name forward. Clint, what's the latest?
We just headed to lunch, Quentin, with India A all outs for 312. They lost 8 wickets for 104 runs in this morning's session. They actually decided to extend the session by half an hour because of the way the wickets were falling when they were knocked down 9 for. Terrific efforts too by Fergus O'Neill, and he's finished with 4 wickets. Just tremendous performance from Fergus. 4 for 55 from 24 overs, and got some support too from Todd Murphy. 3 for 77. So the last wickets to fall since we crossed. Previously, Kumar Reddy went for 17, caught and bowled by Bo Webster. Suter added 6 before being bowled by O'Neill. Nice revenge for Fergus as well. He got smashed for 6 and then bowled Suter the very next ball. Krishna was out cheaply, caught by Josh Phillippe behind the stumps from the bowling of O'Neill as well. He went for a reasonably cheap duck, just faced a couple of deliveries, and then Kumar also looking to hoik one over cow corner, was out for a duck as well, didn't get quite hold of it, was caught by Harris off the bowling of Murphy as well. All out for 312. Saini was the not-out batsman for 18, and we now just wait for lunch, where all the focus does go on who will be able to maybe just put their best foot forward. Constance, as we know, out for a duck, as you've mentioned a couple of times. So too Cam Bancroft. Marcus Harris out for 17, and McSweeney was out for 39 in their first innings. There is, of course, another India A versus Australia A opportunity to try and force your way into the Australian Test team. That's to come at the MCG in a couple of days' time. But no one really has put their best foot forward. So, Quentin, will we see someone do that as they look to chase down this total that they are after of 225, the Australia A men to beat India A men at the Great Barrier Reef Arena. Q, Jim?
Thank you, Clint. Before you head back, Jim, I get the thought that this really is an open race to join Khawaja at the top of the order. Can you remember a summer where Australia has been so unsure as to who would potentially face up with the first ball of the Test summer?
Well, I'd probably have to go back to Wood and Darling a long time ago, but yes, I think that's what George Bailey has suggested. They're going to be pragmatic about it, and whoever is in some form as we get close may get the nod. But he's even been talking about Bancroft recently, despite his poor form this season. So maybe no surprise if Bancroft gets up there today. He got dudded in the first innings, so perhaps he'll relish the opportunity today. I mean, they're all about the same at the moment. Constance is not quite the furnished product, and you've got in the wings guys. Renshaw wouldn't be there, he hasn't done enough, but Harris and Bancroft are still about the place, and you know, the other guy, McSweeney, just keeps making runs.
Yeah,
and they like his technique and quality, so he might be doing.
Enjoy the rest of the day, Jim.
I will.
Nice to see you. I hope that your Wi-Fi works now.
Well, yes and no. I hope, because I can have a bet, and I hope it fails when I stop having good bets. But I'm getting a lot of information thanks to you and to Claire for the rest of the day. What's your special, Claire?
Well, actually, as I said, Gold Rush Guru in the Derby, but there's another little one for an each way little play, a minor one, in the Wakeful Stakes, race 5, number 3, Talisay. I was praised to Byron Cosmana, so he brings across a lovely filly for this race with Billy Egan in the saddle.
Okay. And I'll be having a close look if it's okay, after being scratched last week or 2 weeks ago from the Everest traffic warden.
Okay. We need to let you go. We've got other guests to get to. But thank you. Good to see you. I might come down and say hello a bit later.
Come and say hello.
But while we're on the cricket theme, that indeed the men's international summer gets underway at the MCG on Monday. So if you are in town and you here for the races, want to see some cricket, well, Australia versus Pakistan, day nighter at the G. Sean Abbott's a part of the Australian white ball squad, which is getting ready for this series. Joins us now on Summer Grandstand on ABC Sport. Thanks for your time, Sean. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, mate. How are you going?
Yeah, well, look, we're having a great time because we're here broadcasting from the races. We're chatting cricket with Jim, and now we get to chat cricket with you. This series, it's sort of